Wait a second. Hide live video? I'm not familiar with that. Show live video. So, I don't know if I can, if I'm stopped being heard with that. So I put makeup on me. Lenses. Alright. Sibling. Alright, they got all kinds of crazy effects again. I don't think that'll improve the appearance underwater. What if I just hit the cancel? I think I'm still on just regular. I don't plan on doing anything fancy, just gonna ramble. Just gonna ramble on about not anything important here. Because I just feel like rambling. Just make sure everything is looks okay. I'm kind of in the dark, I guess. I'd be less in the dark if I was over on the other side. I'm sitting on the passenger side, which is nice. I kind of like being able to sit on the passenger side because it's a change up for my shoulder. I can turn on the light every so often. I'm relying on the parking lot lights. All the windows are up so I could talk as loud as I want. But I just feel like rambling. Maybe I'll figure something out by thinking out loud, trying to force myself to think out loud. Okay, because there was a couple of things I was getting in my head that I was thinking maybe I'll make a video about, and I just like to ramble about the possibilities of doing that. So okay, you know what, I should have gotten my my magnifying glass. The meth heads didn't keep my magnifying glass so that I could see the words, because that would be easier to work with for the reading in place of glasses. They're right behind me. I've been keeping, see, people talk about doing a tour in this van, and I move things around so much that I don't see a tour really giving much help, an idea of really how I'm living, because I'm moving things around so much. Nothing stays in the same spot, either through just me moving it around, me driving, and a lot of the moving around is just having cycled through things and having to toss things out. And then also just adjusting for different phases throughout the day, different phases throughout my habits. What do you want to go? This world is always boring. Okay. Yeah, there's boring parts of the world for sure. And there's not so boring parts. I want to go to the not boring parts for sure. But you gotta go in between the boring parts to get to the not boring parts. And sometimes you don't always know which is which. Like, I really love Trinidad, California, and it's kind of sad to skip over that. But man, that was cool. Check out them haystacks with the trees growing on them. But yeah, I'm shuffling things around so much in this van for cooking. For cooking, I gotta clean things. I need a broom of some kind. I need a little hand broom. For sleeping, for exercising. You can't see it back there, but I got quite an exercise gym. The world is boring, but yeah, exercise keeps me keeps my blood going. I don't expect outside stimulus. I'm creating my own stimulus now in ways that I haven't before, especially in ways while living in that car, because my dip bar, I got my dip bar set up back here. I wake up and start doing rows. I wasn't able to do that in the car. I always had to find an isolated spot and then set it up outside. And then if somebody comes by, quickly take it down. If somebody wanted to park next to me or wanted to look suspicious by me, maybe like they wanted to report me. Now I just got it set. I'll sleep on it. It's a little bumpy. I'll sleep on it though. I sleep on my dip bar. I got the parallel bars, which are pretty much smaller dip bars. Tall dip bars, shorter dip bars. So I do pulls in the morning and then turn around if I have the energy, which I often do, because when I do the rows, then suddenly I got this burst, I got this energy, and then I turn around and do push-ups on the dip bars. I have my feet on one dip, or the parallel bars, the feet on one parallel bar, my hands on the other. I'm not actually pushing off the floor, I'm holding on to the bar. It's really nice to be able to, I'm gonna go back and get that the magnifying glass. I keep this I want to keep this camera away. I don't want it so close. But maybe I can, there. Whoops. All right, maybe I'll try to keep the magnifying glass up in front for a little bit. So I'm constantly shuffling things around, because some days I want the magnifying glass in the back, some days I want it in the front. I'm shuffling around my cameras. Maybe I want the GoPro Max 2 in the back. Now I want the GoPro Max in the back instead of for a rooftop cam. I'll keep the Max 1 as a rooftop cam, and the GoPro Max 2 as the first camera I reach for. If I'm laying in the back and somebody knocks on my door to bother me, I'm ready with the Max 2. And I just saw somebody on their video say that there's the Insta360 X5 out now, and I mean, he was the first to talk about it, but I didn't see any reviews. Let's see, Flute likes flutes. Let's see, you should go visit all the national parks as a vet. Yeah, I'm not allowed to go into these parks for free. I don't really, it's not that important to me. I was just at a park yesterday that costs $5 to park at. Let's see. All right, Ron said hi. I was at, and this is in Vancouver. I'm living in a van in Vancouver. I think that's a neat thing to say, but I don't want to stick around anymore, but I kind of have to. I also got to be careful with this magnifying glass. I do have it somewhere where the sunlight could hit it and maybe burn the inside of the van. Oh, that's what I need. I keep forgetting. All right. Yeah, I think I want to write this as a note. All right, I need a piece. I got a pen. I'll write on this. All right. The meth heads took my my binoculars, and I've been finding that I need binoculars because there's been a lot of situations where I'll park just far enough away where I can see there's words on a sign, but I can't quite read those words, and it's raining out, or I'm just too lazy and I want to read them. And in the past, while living in my car, I pulled out the binoculars to read that, or to see whatever looked weird from a distance. Get them 50 time, get the Max binoculars. Maybe even a telescope would be better, but binoculars is best. So the meth heads took my binoculars. I was thinking that they were a little large. They were a little too wide, and took up too much space in the car. I was thinking that I probably should have gotten the more narrow binoculars. But things that aid in visuals like that are nice. The the magnifying glass, the glasses. Let's see. All right, Vancouver. Yep, I'm in Vancouver. The and yeah, binoculars I didn't use every day, but when I needed them, they were pretty useful. So I could get a detail. Somebody parks, kind of close to me, but not too close. So I want to get a better look at them from inside. And I mean, I could see 360 all around this van, so I could point my binoculars anywhere, and observe. This is like the mobile station. This is a mobile recon, headquarters type of operation. A viewing. This is a mobile viewing, a mobile observation post. I'll move from one spot to the next and just observe, and listen. I want to listen as well as observe. Got just all the full observations. Yeah, I don't quite have a driver's license yet. I have I got a temporary. I sent my driver's license. I had a guy who said he wanted to help, and he gave me his address. He just said, I'll help however I can. And I'm like, I just used his address for the driver's license, and that wasn't smart, because he got all upset about getting summons and stuff. So I told him that. I told him how to change the address. I don't know if he ever got that driver's license, but I told him it's no good, that I got a new one, and now I'm using a homeless shelter's address, so now I'm waiting on that. It's been really stressful trying to get this minivan recon team. Yeah, that's right. I'm a reconnaissance. I'm in reconnaissance. I'll deploy my bicycle. If it's a short distance away, instead of driving there, I'll bicycle there. If I can ever get a drone again, I could send up the drone and have a look from above. I mean, this is an observation, just like a non-stop reconnaissance, driving around on just a unending reconnaissance mission, finding out what's around this corner, what's around that corner. I'm curious about a lot of stuff still. I like to go for walks and check things out, go on a bicycle ride. Usually the bicycle ride has a purpose. I'm studying Google Maps, trying to figure out what looks interesting. Take the bicycle out there, or walk, send up the drone, look from a distance in the van, drive over, just whatever. It's a mobile thing. Why can't you get a free pass? I have one. All right, somebody's got a free pass, and they're called Das Foot. They're a familiar name. We have visited 32. That's a lot of visitings. Well, I don't see it as that important to visit the most popular places anyway. I mean, I like to see like the entrances of the national parks. Those are pretty neat. To see what the surrounding is before you enter the national park. That's what I do. Because these veteran services don't make that stuff easy to get. So I'm not gonna beg them for it. It sounds like you gotta like ask a lot, and maybe make some kind of a plea in some way for it. I talked to a VA rep. She didn't say anything about national parks passes. Why wouldn't a VA rep tell me about it? So they're not something that they're just freely giving out to everybody. Some people maybe have to have certain types of experiences in the military to win those. It's a lot of lottery. In the military and life, it's a lot of lottery. It's not just being in the military. There's somebody in Turkey. You wouldn't have any problems getting a driver's license in Minnesota. Well, it's a little cold there, so I'm not in a rush to go to go to Minnesota to get this stuff. I was thinking I want to make this as painless as possible. 20-degree weather is pretty painful. The weather stays stable here. It's a little painful to have to get woken up at 1 a.m. and told to move somewhere else. All right, but that doesn't happen every night. It's not exactly deadly. I've been told to move. I've gotten stressed out a little bit by the security, but now I'm learning Vancouver, and I'm learning where some places there are some places I can get away with spending the night. And I'll just say, wow, there is too much to talk about. I've been here before. I know this library that I'm at in Vancouver. I bounced around to all the libraries, and I'm kind of refreshing my memory. I know about the one downtown, and I'll say that that used to be a 4-hour parking like limit at that library downtown Vancouver, and now it's 2 hours. It used to be like open. I mean, way I remember it back in 2008. I think it was 2008. It used to be just an open field around that library. The parking lot I think was bigger, and now it's 2 hours. It's a 2-hour time limit. They used to have parking meters all over the place, all over. Parking meters. I was just overwhelmed by all the parking meters in downtown Vancouver that stretched for miles outside of the center. I thought that was weird. And I think that was 2008. And there's not a single parking meter anymore. It's just it's all done electronically. You pay at some box. So there's no more parking meters. So they had hundreds, possibly thousands of parking meters all over Vancouver that are gone. They're in a big pile somewhere. I thought that was interesting. See that, and I've witnessed that change happen. That's what technology has done, is taken away all the parking meters that collected change. So they didn't have to visit parking meters and collect change. Instead, they're collecting the money electronically. Yeah, I recall being at this library. I recall being at that library downtown. What was it, 2018? Like 15 years ago? 17 years ago I was around here. I didn't spend as much time as I am now, and I didn't look around Vancouver as much as I do now. But yeah, that's interesting. I have no doubt that there's those types of changes happening other places as well, with the abandonment of certain machines in favor of others. And well, yeah, I'm seeing more electric car charging ports. I don't recall seeing any electric car charging ports around here, and now it's just a whole bunch. Mouston. Oh, I know Mouston. Isn't that the famous cheese curds? Don't you go to Mouston to buy cheese curds? Let's see. Parking meters. Yeah. Oh, yeah. On the East Coast, they can charge you to use the bathroom. That's the only place I've ever seen that. Okay, so yeah, I probably should write down the topics that I wanted to talk about, just so if they hit my memory, I don't forget. So I know I want binoculars, so I've been thinking about that. Let's see. I was thinking about my shoulder pain. Okay, so if there's anything I think about as I'm talking about shoulder pain, I'll write that down. DOS has an electric car in Wisconsin? That's insane. The temperatures fluctuate too much. You are having a harder time in Wisconsin with an electric car than the people out here are. This weather is more stable and it's friendlier for electric cars. I'll tell you what. They were designed for the West Coast and the West Coast only. So I don't have an electric car, but yeah, I certainly appreciate them. They don't put out the smog like a lot of other vehicles do. So yeah, I think my shoulder is finally getting better. I think I figured this out. I better write this down just so I don't forget. Go back to shoulder when I can. All right. Because I was thinking on my health channel, I'd like to talk about that. You know, with my tooth too, my bad. Let me just mention, maybe I can give an update on my bad tooth as well. So I'll write that down to remind myself. But I want to make a video talking about that. Kemp's in Florida. He's followed me with respect. First time seeing me live. Yeah, I mess around on live sometimes when Wi-Fi is good. Let's see. DOS was in Michigan. Whoops. Yeah, Michigan's a nice state. That's I think it's got more stable weather, but apparently I'm being told that the weather fluctuates more erratically because of the lake effect. Okay, so I think my shoulder is now finally going to be on the mend, okay? Because I've realized what the problem is. I've gone with, and AI kind of helped. AI at least got me thinking about it. AI didn't give me the solution, but it gets me thinking about it more. Yeah, was it a lake effect snow or was it the cloud snow in Michigan? It's hard to tell. But my shoulder seems to have, I've been getting my shoulder worse. I'm like, why can't it get better? You know, some days I'm not even exercising, but I am exercising, and that's the issue. I think I'm not exercising when I'm actually exercising the shoulder. Okay, I'm hitting the shoulder when I think I'm not hitting the shoulder. When I think it just doesn't count. And it's because I've been doing the side-to-side lunges, and it's with a twist, and it's pulling the knee, pushing the knee, both sides. Which one's messing up my shoulder the most? Because that's what I think is doing it, is the actual twisting part doing the lunges. I didn't really realize it. What are people saying here? It was next to Lake Michigan. We were all over Chicago. Okay, yeah, Lake Michigan would give a lot of snow in the Michigan. Crazy system snow lake effect this week. Yeah, I think there's it's hard for the weather reporters to like report accurately how the weather is supposed to be in Michigan, because they can watch the clouds all they want and the winds and the sun, but they can't watch the lake very closely. It's like they just don't have anything. They don't have any good measuring equipment to measure how the lake affects the weather. Just like around here, it's like it's been colder than what was predicted in the weather forecast. Like they can't predict the ocean, what the ocean will do to the weather. It got below freezing, and it was scheduled to be above freezing. So I got caught with some extra shivers. I was shivering a little extra some nights because I don't have a lot of blankets. I I didn't, when I got out of jail, I didn't have any blankets. They were all thrown away. Let's see. Mention Kemp's name. I have a friend in Florida. Yeah, Florida is a tough one to get around. You see Florida in the media, it's tough to find anywhere to park and find peace around there. I don't know. I would have to do some serious investigating for places that could be possible targets for arrest for just relaxation. I'm sure you pay in every park, and just everywhere has probably got no overnight parking signs. Those no overnight parking signs are not exactly to be ignored. Okay, especially if there's patrols that are circling around those no parking signs. I'll get woken up at 1 a.m. So let's see. I was talking about my shoulder pain. Okay, yeah, Florida is watched very closely. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know what I want to do. Let's see if I can. Okay. What do we got here? Let's see. Florida is a police state. Do you just heat with your vehicle, or do you? No, I don't heat. There's no way I would use any outside heat. I want to just use blankets. I stay in my truck and I use all three. Nope, nope, nope. I just want to use blankets. That's it. I don't want to use heaters. Heaters are for an absolute emergency, an absolute necessity. I won't use the car's energy for trying to keep warm. I don't want to keep it idle for anything. This van is only for getting around in. That's it. For the energy, and I still have to learn about the propane cooking. Maybe I'll write that down as a topic. Propane. I still have to learn about propane. I put things off too much. Okay, so propane I want to learn about. So let me get back to shoulder, because I got shoulder pains. Yeah, draftiness is good. You want some good airflow for sure. Kemp lives on an island. A boat ramp to park your truck. Yeah, I'm sure if you live on an island. I've seen some ferries in the north part of Wisconsin. The people live out on islands, take the ferry over. It's pretty neat how that is. You don't see a lot of island type of lifestyles. That one island in Lake Superior in Michigan, there's no cars allowed. It's what's that city called? Maybe I can look it up. They got multiple ferries. They do tours. I visited the city that launches the boats to that island. Yeah, Florida with the islands. I wonder if those islands might be on the west side, because I don't see anybody living on any islands in Florida on the east coast, off of the east coast. That seems like the water would be a little too choppy. Okay, yeah, I guess I don't have the best connection here, so I just wanted to see that name of the city. Yeah, I don't normally look at other states on this thing. I just mainly been bouncing around on in Vancouver. Okay, I had to pay to cross a bridge. Okay, yeah, it'd be over more. Mackinac City, so it'd be probably Mackinac Island. All right, give me back to where I was. All right, Mackinac Island. Yeah, people live in an island. They have their own police station. Do you have your own police station on that island in Florida? Because they have their own police over there in Mackinac Island. It's big enough. It's popular enough. I don't think they have their own police stations in those islands north of Wisconsin. All right. Let's see. Mackinac. Oh, Kemp knows right away. He knew right away. All right. Cooking as a topic. I don't know. The propane can kind of lead to that. So anyway, my shoulder, I think I finally figured out how to fix it. And it's pretty much, it was me screwing it up by thinking that I wasn't working my shoulder excessively by doing my side-to-side lunges back and forth. The twisting was I was putting pressure on my shoulders with the pull, with the push, and then the pull. Well, I was only using one hand. I was only, the whole time I've been using one hand with my lunges, punching the inner knees, pulling the outer knees. I think it's this move right here that was wrenching on my shoulder in a way that was causing further damage. Because this wouldn't do it. I don't think the punching as much. Maybe the punching too. But I was only using one hand. And now I'm like, wait a second, why don't I use two hands? That would take pressure off of the bad shoulder. And last night I woke up with no shoulder pain. It was pretty nice. It's pretty rare that's been happening. And a lot of the reason is because of, I think, this exercise. I've been screwing up, I guess. I've been doing it with a bad shoulder. So I'm using two hands now. I grab my leg two hands, and now my waist is getting more tired because I'm wrenching more on my midsection. So I think I can take the pressure off of my shoulder. But still continue that exercise and even make my my waist more tired from doing that. My waist gets tired before my legs because I'm doing it harder. I could probably tire my waist out just simply doing this type of action. It's definitely good for the, oh, that one hurt right there. Pulling back with my right arm. I just felt a little pinch in my shoulder. So that's what's been screwing up my shoulder and causing me to wake up with pains. I'm not going to stop doing the twists. I'm just trying to take pressure off of the shoulder by using two hands instead of one. So we'll see how that works out. But not waking up with shoulder pain it's really great. Wake up at, and not only I get woken up by security guards at 1 a.m. told that I gotta go, but I wake up with shoulder pain as well, and that needs to stop. Let's see, of us crossing, I'll have to go look back at, we crossed somewhere. Oh, Das Foot crossed that bridge. There are people who wanted to jump off that Michigan bridge. There's people that walked across it. I remember every year they shut it down so people can walk across it. Okay, something about Georgia. Yeah, I'm in Vancouver, Washington, just waiting on paperwork. I got 4 or 5 pieces of mail that I'm waiting on. Let's see if I can name them. I'm waiting on my driver's license in the mail. I'm waiting on my bank card in the mail. I'm waiting on my refund from the dental office in the mail because I said that I gave them a down payment to have my tooth pulled, but then I changed my mind and I gave them cash, so they got to send me a check to that homeless address. So that's 3 things. Let's see, was there anything else? Oh yeah, I'm giving a friend an Apple AirTag to program for their phone, and then they're going to send it back to me, and I'm going to keep an Apple AirTag in this van so they can keep track of me in case I get arrested for something stupid, like with Kansas. and then I potentially lose my van, like I lost my car to the cops and all my stuff. Maybe keeping an air tag in it can help at least get somebody to my van to help me out sooner, because I really need help. I mean, the government is really a horrible system. It'll destroy people's lives. And so you don't ask the government for help. You ask other people to give me help. And I think that at least, giving somebody a chance to keep track of me, um, that way. And if anybody else wants to make an arrangement like that, if you want to buy an Apple AirTag or a Samsung AirTag, I could keep one in my van for you. It'd have to be maybe an individual AirTag thing. I could have like a pile of AirTags in my van for all kinds, because it's connected to an individual account there. I don't know why I'm mentioning that. Oh, that was yeah. That's something I'm waiting in the mail. Yeah, I don't have I get denied banks because I don't have a phone number and I don't have a residence. So that's my bottleneck for getting signed up for things. Okay, Felix wants to help. I don't need help. Let me know your travels. I followed you but haven't seen a video in a while. I sent you a text a minute ago. Who was Annie? Yeah, Annie was somebody who I guess you could say I ran into at the last minute, who seemed pretty trustworthy, so I just let her start helping me with a lot of things. I'm like, I have to kind of surrender a lot of my privacy just so I can get some help dealing with the government taking my things. So, a couple of air tags, might help. Keep one just for my van. Keep one just in a bag in case somebody takes my bag. Because yeah, there's actual thieves out there. I was sitting in jail. I lost over $100 worth of stuff to thieves. And one guard just, when I got kicked out of one dorm, one guard said he's not taking all of my stuff, inviting all the other inmates to just take my stuff. So that's what guards do. Guards are like the Robin Hood. When somebody gets kicked out, they just say, you can have whatever you want. And I lost my DD Form 214. Somebody knows my military record. And other stuff too, other important documents. You don't keep important documents with you in jail, because you can easily lose them to other inmates. All right, let's see. I was talking about my shoulder. I feel good about my shoulder improving now. I feel better about the situation. And I guess that's part of the reason why I decided to start this little video. It's just to say, I want to predict that I think I'm going to fix my shoulder. I think that I was making my shoulder worse by my approach to the side-to-side lunges. The lunges are a great exercise. I'm never giving up. I just need to take pressure off of the shoulder when I do the twists. And it's a matter of using two hands at one time instead, because I'm feeling even a stronger force on my waistline by twisting and holding with two hands as opposed to one. I was just putting too much pressure on the shoulder in a weird wrenching type of way. This is the way that if I try to pull on my knee, it's bad. And then I just can't even, I'm unable to lift my elbow up. It's hard. I could do it. I could do it with this one, no problem. I could easily lift up and down, no pains, no stiffness. I do this one and I can't move it. I need this to get better, and the AI has given me some guidance. At least the AI has given me confidence that I can do this, that I'm not forced to suffer for the rest of my life. I think I can fix this, just like I fixed my knee. It was the side to side lunges that fixed my knee. I haven't had a knee problem since. I kind of forget which knee it is sometimes that screwed up. But I suffered for 3 years, just like I'm suffering with this shoulder pain, and a lot of it is just being, constantly repeated. Google voice number. Yep, I got a Google voice number. That doesn't. Maybe 10 years ago, the banks and financial institutions would accept a Google voice number, but not anymore. And then Skype has been pulled from the internet. Skype used to have, Skype was your internet phone. That used to be allowed. That used to be a valid, you could call it a valid number. But that's no longer in existence. Yeah, I got a torn rotator cuff. That's what it is. Scan every piece of important. Okay. So, yeah, that's what the AI was telling me. I had a torn. It's most likely a torn rotator cuff, but maybe it's inflammation mostly, and I continue to inflame it by exercising it, because I thought that maybe, I'm doing exercises that don't hurt it. This is what this is what the AI probably gets wrong. All right, that misdirects me, but I know better now. I'm above the AI on this, because AI doesn't have a shoulder. AI is just ones and zeros. What does it know? So it's telling me, I'm like, okay, I can still do pull-ups and push-ups without any pain, okay? And that's what the AI turns around and tells me, that, okay, but if you're still waking up in pain, then maybe the pain is delayed. So that screws me up. It's like pretty much I have to stop exercising, even the exercises that don't hurt, just because maybe the pain is delayed. That's what the AI is telling me. All right, and I don't think the AI fully understands. The AI, and I didn't feed the AI enough information. Like, I guess I could say I kind of feel pain when I do the twists. I feel the wrenching on the shoulder when I do the lunge twists. But I never mentioned that to AI. I just said push-ups and pull-ups don't hurt. Um, so, could that, what should I make of that? And it's like, maybe it's a delayed pain, that maybe that's part of the reason why you got problems. And I'm starting to think that that's probably not true. AI is a little misleading with that. So I'm not going to stop push-ups and pull-ups, but I will cut back on the wrenching on my shoulder with the twists and see what happens. Originally, I thought it was a stick exercises, which it probably was. I don't have any long sticks in this van. I lost my saw for cutting down sticks. So I also, at some point, I want to buy another saw. I don't need one right away, but I do want more. I do want more exercise sticks. I just want to be aware that that my shoulder can get messed up. Do you take turmeric? Yeah. I always, turmeric goes into my orange juice all the time now. It's like a staple. Turmeric is a staple for me. I mix turmeric with orange juice. I mix dehydrated onions with dehydrated milk, because I like that combination. I like to think that regular milk should probably have just a little mix of cayenne pepper, but I don't commit to it all the time. There's some foods that I like to have as a permanent mix. Just always mix them together. Applesauce, I'm trying to figure it out, but I asked the AI about that, and it said mix applesauce. And I told AI no cinnamon. Cinnamon screws with me too much. So I told AI no cinnamon, but give me something to mix with applesauce. And it said try garlic, because that's like a chutney. It's like a chutney glaze for meats. So I'm like, I never tried that before, and I did, and I like it. So I'm mixing. I have dehydrated garlic with the bread and cheese, like I did in jail. A little bit of a habit I've developed from jail, because the only spices that the jail sells that are any good are onion powder and garlic powder. So I've been eating a lot of that. So that was a great experiment right there, learning how much what's a limit. Is there a limit to the amount of garlic powder and onion powder that you can eat? And jail has told me no, there's no limit, because I have a lot. I consume a lot, so I'm uh, I'm into it. I'll do it all the time. And I was mixing garlic with all the food pretty much. Garlic powder went into all the dishes that were served at the meal. The bologna sandwiches, I put garlic on it all the time. Sprinkled garlic on the meats and ate them like that with the garlic, just to give them some better flavor. There are some meats that tasted like liver and organs and the buttholes of the animals and all that. They're just a horrible taste, but garlic helped with it. For a while, I tried hot sauce, but that was the trigger that caused my tooth pains early on in the first month. And it took me about a month to really figure it out that that hot sauce was not a good idea. So I abandoned the hot sauce. I like the idea of cayenne being available, but consuming vinegar is not something I can get away with. I don't plan on getting a Boost phone. Nope. Do not put this Gmail in there. Make a new one. Okay. Yeah, I don't plan on getting any phones. I'm not on a phone right now. I'm using Wi-Fi from another building, and it's pretty consistent. So that's how I've been living, and it's this. It seems like it's something that's gonna be like this for a long time. I bounce in between the signals, and that's okay. I can live in between the signals. I can get away from it. I don't need to carry a signal with me all the time. I'll just enter into the range of a signal periodically. I look at it as like, going to a payphone back in the old days. If you want to call somebody, you walk to the payphone to make that call. It's just like I'll walk to the Wi-Fi signal to get that connection. Sometimes it could get a little scary with small towns, the ones that like to put a password on and then shut their Wi-Fi off at night. There's some really bad small towns out there that just they don't want they don't like they're not very friendly to people using their Wi-Fi. They'll shut it right off on you, and then you gotta figure things out. That's why I got the Garmin. I don't want to be totally reliant on Wi-Fi to get around. Garmin can help out. Garmin's not great, not a great solution, but it helps. I suspect that Garmin was probably better uh, 20 years ago, when there were fewer radio signals in the air. I think that maybe the satellites get interfere. The satellite signals are too weak in contract in competition against the cell phone signals. So I sometimes have difficulty reaching the satellites, because the Garmin relies entirely on satellites, and sometimes I could go the whole trip without having a connection to the satellite, but my Google Maps blue dot will follow me the whole way. So then, currently unable to send your what? Something happened. Let's see. Auto Mats memorizes everything. Go out driving with no. I can't memorize. What? Oh, for pizza delivery. Okay, yeah, for pizza delivery. Yeah, I know there's really smart guys that are able to remember. Yeah, the city, the entire city, the name of every road and every city. I'm just not smart enough for that. That's pretty impressive. These are guys, I think that maybe they started out in life with a little extra money to get around and learn that stuff early on. I think in my early life, I was very conservative with my resources, with my few resources right at the start. So I'd give up learning new things just to save a little money. Some people will spend the money to learn things. I was trying to save money, and I'll just, do something else instead of learn. So let's see. All right, so I'm confident that my shoulder's gonna get better. So I'm taking a different approach. It's been only a couple days, but I'm predicting that my shoulder's gonna get better. That's what I wanted to say. All right, the Boost phone is the coolest internet connection. All right. Well, I don't know. It's I'm not. Who did I have before? I had that whatever the Walmart service is. There's a Walmart service that I just didn't like. They, talk when I need it. It doesn't work right, and then you gotta call them and ask them to help you, and some of the people who answer the phone don't seem very trained very well. So yeah, my tooth. I broke my tooth in 2014 chewing on popcorn. Okay, I didn't break it in half, just partial. So then I had problems with cleaning in between. Let's see, George, I'm glad you're doing good. I hadn't seen you in a while. Have a good night. Okay. Otto did van life with a hacked router. A hacked router set as a client? Set as a client. Yeah, that's above me for sure. I don't know. It sounds like you're saying you provided Wi-Fi services in some way. Yeah, you'd have to know maybe know some secret numbers. All I know is that the AI is taking over coding. Like I talked to a tech support in jail, and I asked him if he got any AI training, and that was about 2.5 months ago, maybe 3. I was like, do you get any AI training with Correct Solutions? Because he worked for Correct Solutions, and he said no. And he said that he does coding on the weekends on his own time. And it's like, even the best coders now aren't even coding themselves. They're letting AI run with it. Even the best coders are not reading all the lines of code. They're just submitting projects, creating projects, and having AI make it. And if it runs, then it's good. And this guy, he's a young guy too. He looked like in his mid-20s. He's like acting like he's completely clueless about AI in Louisiana. So there's quite a few young people out there who are like not even paying attention to AI, and they're computer science majors. They're like, working in the technology field, and they're not keeping up on the AI, and it seems like that's kind of a mistake to me. You want to keep up on AI. I'm keeping up on AI every day. There's always something new coming out about it. It's not something I could keep up with in jail, though. The router looked like a phone or a PC, not a router, and I used a wire. Yeah, there's kind of, I've seen videos of people showing off some weird contraptions that do amazing things. Maybe, you could get into, what are they? You need a license to be able to communicate on radios. So, do you have a license in some way to have that communication, or is it something that you can get around? See, desk mouse broke a tooth on a metal that was blue, a blue metal. Okay. You've lost several teeth. Keep the box. Okay. You've lost several teeth. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, coding is something that AI can do. I can code now. You ever hear of vibe coding? VIBE, and then it's coding. You just have cloud AI. Just tell it that you want a Pac-Man game, and then just code it, or code something. I don't know, whatever. You make an app for another Uber type of service. The Uber system seems pretty neat. That can be applied to a lot of things. Yeah, I broke my tooth a little bit in 2014, and there was no problems. It was just a broken tooth. I was just needed to clean it. If any pain did come, I would just use the magnets. Just put some magnets over there, no problem. For years, 2014, for years and years and years, if I had any tooth pain, the magnets instantly took it away. And I kept it clean too, because food would get stuck in there. But as soon as I go to jail, they wrestle me away from my magnets. And these magnets, I'm surprised, and I'm happy that the meth heads didn't want to keep. The meth heads let me keep my magnets. They're very generous people. With that respect, at least, because they're my medical device. So I had nothing while in jail, and I had to give up sweets for sure. No more. I was eating cookies for a little bit, but they were a problem. Jellies and then that hot sauce with the vinegar. I had pains that would last an hour and a half, right on the side here, and then it wouldn't even swell. It would just be so painful. It'd just be straight pain that would put me in a trance. I'm just focused on the pain, not really thinking about things around me, just focused on the pain. It'd come in waves. It would come up really bad where I would just be totally wincing, just grinding everything, and wishing for relief from the pain, and then it'd go away for a little bit, then it'd come back and go away, and it'd be up and down, until finally I was too tired, and I'd just have to sleep after that. I'd sweat and then have to sleep. So that went on for months and months, off and on. I would bite. It would be like I bite on a bologna sandwich, and suddenly the pain comes back, and then I had a hard time trying to finish that bologna sandwich because of the pain. I'd be fighting through the pain trying to eat, and that'd just go on for months in jail. I talked to the nurses. They said there's really no dentist, but if they had one, all you would do is pull my tooth anyway. And the nurses are rude. I mean, I don't. I think they're just guards in nurses' uniforms. So I didn't get any help with that. And so I suffered a long time. And then, yeah, towards the end, I was starting to swell up. It was pain, lots of pain, and then swelling started getting worse and worse. And then I get out, and then one time, like the second day out on December 10th, I had pain from eating grapes. Just wake up in the morning and just started eating grapes, and I got pain. And then that lasted for a little bit. I used magnets. Even the magnets weren't really slowing that pain down, but it eventually went down, and I haven't had pain since. Since December 10th, I have not had any pain in my mouth. I've got it under control, but then the swelling got out of control. The swelling got bad, and it's partly because I was pushing on it. I was like pushing, and I was feeling the tooth move back and forth, and I was playing with that, and then the swelling just blew up and extended to my lip. So I went to AI. You know, that's the thing. While in jail, I couldn't learn what my problem was. I told the nurses that I want to understand what's going on here. What's the problem with my mouth? And they weren't willing to tell me anything. They just said that there's a dentist and they only pull teeth, but they haven't had a dentist for a month now, and they've never gotten a dentist the whole time I was there, for the whole 8 months, as far as I understand. So I just, yeah, I started learning about the problem when I got out, and yeah, I had the swelling, and but AI was very misguiding too, because it was telling me that the tooth needs to be pulled. Yes, there's side effects, but it needs to go. And then other people are saying it needs to go, and they're telling me how they were getting their teeth pulled and all that. But I mean, I was hesitant, but I considered my options, and I actually went to a dental office and then scheduled tooth pulling. The dentist told me that she couldn't really. It's not a good idea to pull it while I had the swelling present. If you get the swelling down, then it'll be less painful. So I'm like, okay, yeah, give me some time. We'll figure this out. And I gave a down payment of $220 to them, and for the pulling. The pulling was scheduled for January 5th, but I'm not going through with it. I canceled it early after the swelling went down enough, after I got more confidence in my ability to handle this. I may not even have an abscess, but it swelled up and all that, and it got painful in that area. But I may not even have an abscess. How do I, whatever. If I do, I think it's under control. And they say it's the thing. It's not, if it's a rotten part, it's not under control. It'll never get under control. You know what? I'll take the chance. I've been keeping it under. I've been dealing with it for many years, and the jail threw me out of whack with that. Off track. I got off track, and then yeah, I broke. I have parts of my tooth left at the jail because it broke again. Because I had to buy all kinds of weird metal. I had to use all kinds of. I had to use metal objects that were really rare to get a hold of. But when I got a hold of them, I tried to hold on to them as long as I could. Mostly the little coily wires and the pens. I'd use those. But then I'd lose them too. I'd lose a lot of them. So I didn't do a very good job. I didn't have very good resources trying to keep the teeth cleaned out. That was really frustrating. But I'll just say that I mean, jail, at least, one benefit of the jail was that I stopped getting sick in my stomach, and I'm learning now that it is probably because of being filthy, living filthy. I was eating with dirty hands, and then that was a problem with my stomach. I've noticed that. I have to put a lot more effort into being clean, and because I used to measure it by sore throats, but this sickness I was getting was bypassing sore throats and just going straight sick in my stomach. Because yeah, early on in my homeless lifestyle, I was eating out of plastic containers and not really cleaning them very good, and I was getting sore throats, and that was a measure to me that I needed to use equipment that was not gonna give me sore throats, like using metal keeps cleaner a little bit better, but still it took a few years, but then I started getting sick stomachs, and I think, yeah, I think there's a lot of filth that I was just I was just coming into contact with. Like I can't eat, I can't play with I don't know, blankets. I gotta keep blankets clean. I gotta keep everything clean. I can't just touch things and then grab food and eat it, and then go touch things and then grab food and eat it. I have to clean my hands in between that, so I don't get those sick stomachs anymore. That's one thing that jail helped me take a step back and realize, that I needed that. I needed that part of it, at least, just for cleanliness. Because I don't know if I would have figured this out on my own. I don't know if I would have figured out that I needed to be more clean. My hands were looking dirty. I could do a better job keeping my hands clean still, but I was letting the knuckles get dark and dirty, and all of that. I was not doing a good job. So now, yeah, I keep dish soap. I brush my hair more. Let me talk about that. Yeah, I definitely don't want an RV. Okay. So I've been learning more about keeping my hair clean, and I learned what the best brand is Goody, I guess. But I want to keep my hair clean, so I learned that brushing the hair is like sweeping the floor, and then washing the hair with shampoo is like mopping the floor. So at the very least, I'm sweeping the floor with the brush. But not only do I want to sweep the floor, I also want to clean the broom too. I want to clean the brush. And so then I had to learn about cleaning the brush as well, because if I just brush, I'll put the gunk back in my hair. So I want to clean the brush in between, and I have soap that I guess the AI suggests that sweep daily, mop weekly. That's good for the hair. Yep. I want to put a little soap in there and then clean it. I suggested use a toothbrush. Okay. I don't have an old toothbrush. I don't have an old toothbrush, but uh, I wanna brush more. All right. I've neglected brushing for a long time, so I want to brush more, and then clean the brush. That's something. And then I could show this maybe in a video about how to be clean. What I've learned from AI now. The habits I've had to develop. And it's the thing. I'm a little doubtful that I would have gotten it to this point before jail without jail. I don't know how much more would I have suffered with sick stomachs before I finally did something. I don't need to stand up in my vehicle. If I just laying in a minivan like this, just as long as I can lay down fully, I'm happy with that. I don't need to stand up in the vehicle. Being on my knees is fine. I'll stand up on the outside of the vehicle. But yeah, I got some soap now for washing clothes. You can mix, let's see, you can mix that baking soda with the soap to clean it. Okay, and let's see, baking soda, and I got the I think it's called Zota, Zota. It's a soap that's just a block of soap, and that I shave, get shavings off of, and just through brainstorming and the AI, I figured that I could use a potato peeler to shave off of the soap. I only need a tablespoon every time I go to the laundromat. But I've only been to the laundromat once with this. But I'm going to get into more of a habit of cleaning the clothes. And I mean, I haven't changed these clothes over a week now. I'm not doing a great job, but I'm working on it. What's going on? You're not dealing with a normal person. I got to go. Okay, all right. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, I'm in need of keeping things clean more. I got vinegar in a spray bottle, so of course baking soda and vinegar don't mix, so I don't use them together. They cancel each other out. But I for cleaning clothes at least, I'd start out with baking soda, then then use vinegar separately. But yeah, I wanna keep things clean, and I want to have better habits before I eat, to have clean hands, clean dishes, all that. I need to become a germaphobe so that I don't get sick stomachs, because it's not normal to get sick stomachs at 50 years old. Just because I'm older doesn't mean that I'm just going to naturally get sick stomachs more often. It's preventable, and I've seen that now with all the time I spent in jail. So that was a hard lesson. I had a lot of suffering, other kinds of suffering to do, but there's some things that I guess require interventions. It's not like I had a drug addiction, but I just had a dirtiness problem that it took me a while to see. Yeah, bleach and vinegar. Oh, I don't know about bleach. Doesn't that produce a bad gas if you put those together? So yeah, I got to keep things clean. The tooth, I'm pretty confident the tooth is gonna be fine. I'll give it time. But yeah, it's a broken tooth in there. I'm keeping it clean. It hasn't. The swelling's coming down, and the swelling has not come back, and all that. So yeah, I got that under control. And so we'll give it time. It'll be an experiment, I guess. People, I guess, they say people die from a bad tooth like this, but that's assuming that there's an abscess. I don't even know. It sounds like it's kind of hard to prove whether an abscess exists or not. All right, so what was the next thing? Propane. Yeah, for cooking and stuff, I'm looking into that, because I'm using the small bottles, and I can go through those kind of fast. I think I got enough room for a big 20-pound tank. There's still some pretty good space in this van. I could probably maximize the space better. So I want to look into that. I want to look into what have I removed from the van. Yeah, all the seats are gone for sure. Those went out immediately. But I'd like to get a 20-pound tank. I just need to figure out how to do that. Like, I cooked with a small 1-pound tank of propane today, because I got a double burner. I use iron cast pan. I cooked some eggs today with a lot of olive oil, and also I threw some bread on that pan. It soaked up the olive oil. It all tasted great. And then I have a cup. Well, it's this cup right here. I boiled some water and threw some oatmeal in it, so I had oatmeal from a coffee cup. That was pretty good. I could go for doing that again. Cooked, so I have a 2 burner cooking stove thing. The problem is I have to cook on the side of the van. I got to open up the side door and then set it up, and I can't be inside the van for cooking. That's not going to happen. I'm finding that there's a lot of great airspace. There's more airspace in the van, which feels great. Um, like the air collects too much in the car, even with the windows down, it seemed. But I don't think there's enough airspace to cook inside the van and sit inside it as well. I was feeling just slightly dizzy cooking, standing outside the van with my head over the 2 burners burning. Let's see. Have you replaced the driver's seat with a stump yet? Yeah, I'm working on that one. Get a bracket to hold a propane tank. No, I don't want anything else outside the van besides the bicycle. I saw a few days ago, some guy with his van. He had a propane tank on the sidewalk. He was parked on the side of the road with the 20-pound propane on the sidewalk and a hose going into his van, a long hose. Why would you need to do that? It's just, he was kind of like a homeless guy, more permanently parked. I want everything to stay inside. Okay, I don't know why would a propane tank need to be on the outside. I don't understand. I want to be the ones. I want to stand outside. And yeah, cooking meth. Yeah, he seemed a little out. He seemed like he wasn't in touch with reality. Yeah, I think I'd like a bigger tank. And keep a couple of small tanks in as emergency reserve, but a big tank possibly. I just got to figure it out. I see how other people do it. They'll need a hose, I guess, and all of that. But I need to move things around for cooking a lot, so that it's all perfectly set up. And I can. This is the beauty of living in the van, is I can move things around while still being in here, and I don't want that to change. I want to be able to move things around without having to set anything on the outside of the van. Okay, because if I have to set things on the outside of the van to move things around, to get around to things, I've got too much. Then I'll have to rule that I've got too much stuff and something's got to go. That's how I accepted that's how it would be with the car. I'd have so much stuff. Some things would have to be set outside so I could get to other things, and then work around that. I accepted that with the car, but I'm not going to accept that with the van. Everything's got to be able to be moved around, as difficult as it can be for cooking, especially. But that's got to be a standard. Because what if it's raining or something? I don't want to be caught with things outside the van while it's raining. Yeah, I don't plan on ever refilling a small tank. I've looked into that a little bit. It just seems a little bit too dangerous. A fan club following me around in caravans. I'm trying to get away from those groups of people, though. That's the thing. I don't really try to join those groups. I'm running away from them and just kind of doing my own thing. Let's see. So yeah, cooking is a little bit of a challenge, but it's very rewarding. So there's no way I'm going to quit. But there are situations where I may plan on doing it, then I start setting up, and then somebody parks next to me, and Like today, I just felt like I needed to stop and watch what was going on. You know, who is this guy parking next to me when I'm about to cook? Are they going to report me? What what kind of person do they seem like? So that's the habit. I'm not quitting cooking. I'm almost enhancing cooking. All right, yeah, I'm working on receiving my driver's license in the mail. So it's 4 days waiting, and then when I can get my driver's license, and I'm also waiting on my bank card in the mail. Eventually, that'll be sent in the mail, and then I can start doing more things because I tried to do a Walmart to Walmart money transfer where I'm the receiver, and Walmart's denied me, saying that I got a hole in my driver's license. Because I have a hole in my driver's license, I can't conduct certain businesses. Any business that requires me to show my ID, I'm getting denied now because I got a hole in my driver's license. And that temporary piece of paper isn't good enough for Walmart. So yeah, I'm still waiting on things. North Dakota sure would hate if you had groups of Travis Heinze following around Stumpmaster. Yeah, this is a weird opinion, but I feel like watching Yellowstone, that TV series, that TV drama series, it reminds me so much of the issues in Williston, having to deal with them type of characters in Williston fighting for against the criminal charges. It felt like some of them people would have been in that TV show. Not exactly the same kind of drama, but there's family ties, and they're making money through very not lucrative, but just they're using the political power, and then the family relationships and all that to achieve power. Williston had it. Williston was like a Yellowstone to me. With the families in place and running the show there, and then all the money from the oil extraction happening at the time, and really benefiting from that. But I guess how do you make a TV show out of North Dakota in the same way? I think there's similarities. Yeah, Williston's yeah, Williston was a gold rush. Williston was a rush for sure. With 2014, with the oil rush, the oil boom, they made a lot of money. The locals made a lot of money, and there was the conflict with the ranchers, or the farmers, and the oil barons, and all of that. But the TV show wasn't based. The Yellowstone TV show wasn't based on North Dakota's gold rush there, or oil rush. It's just, yeah, they had their own stories, and yeah, there's most likely rivalries and murders and all kinds of stuff. Cops. I talked to one cop who's in Texas, who said I don't know. I asked him directly. He said that he did show up to oil pumps, those oil pumps out in the field. He's had to respond to oil pumps uh, because of fights or something that happened. Maybe accidents and fights. Yeah, okay, you know about Williston, North Dakota. Lots of missing people in Williston. Hmm. Well, if you look historically at Idaho City, Idaho, they got the part of a graveyard that's like the sectioned off for unnamed cowboys that died with their boots on because of the gold rush. There was a lot of conflict there, drinking, and then conflicts about, you know, who gets to mine certain areas, and you know, because they made millions and millions and millions of dollars from the gold rush around Idaho City, and they're still finding gold in Idaho City. Well, in the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are still crumbling. There's still landslides, which probably open up more gold reserves, but it's not as big as it was. But people are still finding gold nuggets out there in that area. They're still staking claims, just not as big. These 18K. Oh, they gamble. Yeah, they got an airport in Williston to take the rich people to Las Vegas so they can gamble their earnings away. It's easy come, easy go when it comes to natural resources and extracting oil. Yeah, they're still extracting oil out there. It's just a little bit more structured, I guess. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'm on a wanted poster in Idaho City. Rocks in Williston with gold flakes. Huh, that'd have to be quartz, right? Isn't it? You find gold around the black sand, and then the gold is mixed with quartz. So there's a mixture of black sand, quartz, and gold that has a tendency to be found together. You know, I don't. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Let's see. I mentioned tooth, propane, shoulder. The shoulder was the main reason that I came online. And I was a little bored. I just wanted to get to talking. I guess I've been kind of bored. Um, I bought. I'm buying food. Somebody suggested to buy food with a pickup at Walmart because I'm able to connect my bank account directly to the Walmart app. And I've looked at other places, other stores to do that as well. And Walmart is the only one. Black sandstone, that's right. Yep, black sandstone and then quartz, and it mixes with the gold. There's some kind of special mixture going on with that. So I'm buying. Yeah, you like Williston area. All right. I don't know about this time of year, but yeah, in the summertime, it probably not too bad. Um, no other no other stores are doing this direct connect with the bank, and the AI is telling me that there is a big advantage if you can connect your bank directly with the store that you're buying from. Well, I only have it with Walmart, but I mean you avoid check card fees, you avoid credit card fees because you just got a direct connection. So the way it's sounding, the store appreciates having a direct connection with my bank accounts to avoid fees. So they sometimes give discounts, and it's saying something like, this is where it's confusing. It's saying something like Target offers discounts for direct connection with my bank, but I look on the Target app, and I don't see any way to connect my bank directly with Target. I would seriously do that. I would connect my bank with Target and Safeway even. I like Safeway. I mean, they got they got all these services, but camped on the creek I found them in. I actually camped on the creek in Williston. I camped on a creek. I don't know if I have a Target account. I don't know. I don't have a Target account. I never set one up. I was just looking for the option. You look in wallets. A lot of these stores will at least put a section called wallet. And then I look in there and there's just nothing for direct connect with the bank. Walmart has it. Walmart's got everything. They got that Sparky now. Sparky is like the AI for the Walmart app. But I'll tell you what, that Sparky is really stupid. It should be called stupid. All right. It doesn't seem like AI much in any way. Or an AI with so many guardrails, it's retarded. Sparky is one of the most retarded AIs I've seen. I don't, but I mean, they're just Walmart's just starting out with it, but they're confident enough to present it. It's almost like Clippy. They can only say so much. Let's see. Somebody, Joe, yeah, you got harassed near it. You marked it on a post link to Google Maps. In Williston? Copper rod, the world needs to know. Yeah, I still got my the meth heads didn't take my copper rod. Try Albertsons. Well, I wouldn't say instead of Walmart, as well as Walmart. All right. It's kind of near. Yeah, in Williston, I never showed up on my court dates. And I turned myself in, and the judge dismissed the whole case. So, I mean, some people just don't understand how the rest of the country works. It doesn't work. The Natchitoches, Louisiana, may feel like it's going to be the forefront for judicial I don't know, leadership, but it's not. It's more operating in the rear and working under the table a lot more than over the table. Especially with not allowing cameras in the courtroom. Yeah, there's some places that are more there's some court jurisdictions that don't have the same kind of power that others do. I've never seen a city court with as much power as Natchitoches. The power to reach across state lines, to use NCIC, but they don't have enough power to put me on the DOC, to get me DOC numbers. I find that interesting. No, I don't know if there's no city court that could to have the power to put me on a DOC, but there's no like there's no coordination. There's no consistency with which city courts are allowed to use the NCIC. Like, could all city courts use the NCIC? That'd be interesting, because none have actually used it before Natchitoches. All right, so yeah, I ordered something for pickup at Walmart for tomorrow. I guess I could have picked up today, but I chose to pick up tomorrow in the morning just for something to look forward to. I'm not exactly close to this Walmart, but I chose the closest one at least. And then yeah, I want to pick up some food tomorrow. I got a lot of time to sit around right now, because I'm not going to go to that mail office tomorrow. I'm not going to go till Monday. So I got a lot of days to just sit around. And tomorrow it's supposed to rain an inch. So if it could just, drop all of that rain at once, that'd be great. But I'm sure it's going to spread it out the whole day. keeping me in my van, which, you know, it's not as bad as living in the car, at least. Being stuck in a car in the rain. Somebody smoked some marijuana. She forgot to call, but the court was... I could put myself on the NCIC. I doubt that. There's probably some qualifications. The city marshal has the power to put people on the NCIC. A city marshal. So all city marshals in the country, I'm assuming, have the power to put people on the NCIC. That's something to learn more about. And then to mislead, to cause a misleading by making the other states think that, you know, no bond, like there's no bond high enough to hold me, when this is a court of limited jurisdiction, limited to a $2,500 bond. No bond. What's a city marshal? Yeah, I know that Texas has marshals. Judge Barber is going to be some kind of a federal marshal, I guess. So judges become marshals, and then I guess marshals can become judges, but you got to be elected to be the judge. But yeah, I ordered some food for tomorrow, and I'll be sitting around in the van, and I want to download a lot of YouTube videos. I can get a little exercise in this van, mostly push-ups and pull-ups. Not really leg exercises. I'd step out to do those. And then I'd be careful of my shoulder while doing my leg exercises. So there's that. The library is open tomorrow, so that's something that I want to consider seriously. Hang out a little bit at the library. I'm not enthused about spending all day at the library, though. Have I decided that libraries may not be the best places to visit? Not all day. For a little bit here and there at a time. Yeah, I'm stuck in this city waiting on mail because I got quite a few pieces of mail. I'm afraid that refund from the dental office will probably be my longest wait. Because they gotta like go through the billing department or something. I should really call that dental office and try to just keep track of, get the phone number for the billing department and ask them when they're gonna send that check, that refund. It would have been a lot easier if I had a bank card and I paid that way, because they could have just refunded it to my bank card, but I paid in cash, so now they gotta mail me a check to the homeless office, and that might take a little bit longer. I tried to ask to have my driver's license delivered to the DMV office, and they said that would take longer. I think he's lying, but he said it would take an extra 2 months or extra 2 weeks. Sounds like the consistency of a lie to me. But I said, okay, fine. I won't have you guys pick it up for me. So I got 4 pieces of things to pick up at that homeless shelter. That's the driver's license. It'll be eventually 5 though, I think. It'll be the driver's license, the bank card, the Apple AirTag, and then the refund for my dental my dental down payment. And then I still got to get license plates for this van, and I'm getting fined weekly for it. I think it's like a $50 fine every week for not paying quick enough. I owed initially $744. I didn't have the money at the time, and now it's been over a week. It's been a couple of weeks, and after 2 weeks, they add $50 to that. So now I owe $794, and then I'll owe more because I still don't have the money. So it goes up to a $150 fine. Starts out at 50, it goes up to 150. But I'm not sure exactly how that works. I need to learn how that works. This isn't exactly a sale in Washington. This is a California sale. But I'm getting fined because I'm not paying the tax fast enough to get plates. And I don't even know how I get my plates. I think I might have to wait in the mail for those. Fishing kills time. No, well, there's rivers. Yeah, I parked at this parking lot where you got to pay $5 to park there for the day, and that was near a river. I don't want to pay that $5. I hung out in my van for an hour in that parking lot, but good thing it was raining. Nobody really checked on me. It was in the afternoon. But yeah, there's parks around here that you got to pay to park for the day. Or I guess you could pay $40 for the year, but I don't plan on hanging out here for that long. Why were you locked up for so long? Was it a lack of bail money? Yeah, it was failure to ID and failure to appear. I got a 9-month sentence. Yeah, the shelter tries to give food. That's the problem I'm having around here. I know where all the food banks are, and maybe some soup kitchens. I think I know where the soup kitchens are. I got them marked on Google Maps, but I really haven't looked at them yet because they're so spread out. This area is just too much for me. The driving is crazy. The parking is restricted. I consider bicycling. I was going to bicycle to the Veterans Affairs office on Friday, but it rained, so I decided against that. I was seriously considering a bicycle ride from a pretty good spot to the VA's office to ask, because I'm approved for something, for maybe a medical money in some way, and then I could have looked around and got more familiar. But the rain holds me back. The cold, the rain. This ain't a great time of year to be here, but I mean, I got released on December 8th. You know, I couldn't come here up at my leisure. I had to scramble after I got released from jail to try to catch up on all my like expirations. Yeah, I'm in Vancouver. I live in a van in Vancouver, Washington. Vancouver, Washington. So yeah, that's the state. Yeah, there's a VA office I found. I got the address marked on Google Maps, and I'm looking into bicycling there. This bicycle I got is pretty good. I put more olive oil on the chain, and I took the rust out, and it got lubed up, so it's ready to go. I don't know, Washington. Some guy in Vancouver, Washington gave me his address. I tried to use it for my driver's license, and then I told him after I did it, and he got really upset with me. So people in Vancouver, watch their backs. This is it's a pretty active area. Driving up the road, lots of cool waterfalls. Yeah, I see a mountain off in the distance on some of the roads. You look down the road and you see a massive mountain, snow-capped this time of year. Yeah, there's some great scenery around here. I can't seem to find great places to hang out for, like a park. I kind of hung out in a park and ride today, but it's kind of busy. It's kind of active. they have a no camping sign up, so um, I don't want to spend too much time there. But yeah, I'm stuck. I would be further south. I looked into Oregon, and I was thinking that maybe I had a warrant for my arrest, but I looked into it. I asked AI to help me out, and it helped me find my record in Oregon, and I don't have any arrest warrants for that for the traffic offense. So I'm in good shape. I could hang around anywhere in Oregon now. I had no problems. No problems for Oregon. So I would as soon as I could get my things straightened out, I'll drop back into Oregon, go further south, and just wait out this winter. I'd prefer to be further south for the winter, or west, I guess. Straight west of here is more Oregon. And I look at these cities and I'm like, wow, I was through those. I know those cities. And it's like, it's kind of cool to be able to, go back and see if anything's changed. Like Astoria, Oregon, McMinnville, Seaside. Uh, I remember I spent like a month in Seaside. I got away with that one pretty good. uh, until they discovered me. I was sleeping next to a food bank for almost a month, and then finally the cops figured it out. But these are places not far from Portland. These are these are places that are really restrictive against homeless people. This area of Vancouver is pretty tough because I mean there's quite a few homeless people sleeping on the sidewalks, just causing a little tension. So yeah, I made a big run over here just to sit around. I put on thousands of miles to get up here just so I could sit around and be bored. I rode all the way from Natchitoches to San Diego, and then from San Diego I got this van and drove straight here just to update my stuff, and I don't really have anything seriously updated officially yet. I don't have that driver's license. I don't have that car tag. And yeah, I'm waiting on several things. I'm just sitting here waiting and waiting, and just trying to survive the security, trying to survive the people, trying to live on restricted money, trying to survive the cold. It's like it's stuff that's I'd rather just be bouncing around. Instead, I would rather be further east. Stayed a week in Seaside at the Oceanfront Hotel with a fireplace. Okay. So you've walked out to the ocean then? You walked on the beach to the ocean edge. That's pretty exciting. It's just this long stretch of sand. It's a massive beach on the seaside. If you were downtown, and then there's that river where they have the bicycles that you can ride on the river. They got some severe restrictions. It's hard to sleep in your car in Seaside. You've done more professional living over there. That's great. No, Jack, I don't need any help. I'm good. We can meet maybe. I don't know. You want to email me or something where you want to meet, Starbucks or whatever. Yeah, I got a lot of time to burn around here, just waiting on documentation to arrive in the mail. Not thrilled about it, but it's kind of like what needs to happen after getting let out of jail and waiting out and then trying to catch up on my paperwork. You were trying to sleep in your car. Yeah, there's in the daytime. Yeah, there's not very easy spots. I tried to sleep at the hospital, and the security guard kind of kicked me out. I'll tell you what, I was walking on the side of the road one day, and this one guy came up to me. He passed me and then turned around, and his truck came up to me and asked me if I lunged at his house. And he had a rifle and a handgun, and his hand was on the handgun, but the handgun was faced forward, not at me. Which, if it was faced at me, I would have ran. But he still asked a question that was so insane, and it could have led to my bloody end. It was so random, but he was paranoid about me lunging at his house, and I just said no, and I walked away, and then he drove off. And that happened in Seaside, so they got some problems. There's a lot of homeless people. They got some paranoid people who live there too, to watch out for. And I mean, he looked like, this was over 10 years ago now, 2014. He'd probably be in his 40s now. Oh man, let's see. Let me try to read this. Oh, let's see. I still was trying to sleep in my car. Oh yeah, save money. Yeah, it's not easy to sleep in your car. I tried to pick some blackberries around the north part of Seaside. They were still kind of good. It was getting late in the season. Filled about a bowl. Those blackberries are awesome in the fall time. Salmon berries in the spring, along with salal berries. Salal are maybe further south. Small daily fee. You can look for razor clams in Seaside. I don't know about doing it in Seaside. Why not Warrenton, Oregon? I think guys are doing it out there. I saw guys lined up along the water fishing in Warrenton. If you've been to Seaside, you've probably seen the elk, right? Have there been any elk that passed through that area? Because there were like a herd of 50 in Warrenton, Oregon, just running around on that old military base. That's the thing. It was not easy, okay, but I slept at the library in Warrenton. I got away with that. I tried the church, but a cop came to talk to me, and then I tried to sleep in I don't know, the fishing area or the fishers park. I got busted for that. Warrenton's not exactly easy to get away with for sleeping, but I did near the library because I kind of, I don't know, I scooched my car closer to a residence where nobody reported me. You got a van. You can sleep better than a curtain behind you. Yeah, there's a lot of advantages to sleeping in a van over a car. Yeah, the elk are more numerous. Yeah, in Washington on the west coast, Winlock. There's elk poop all over Winlock, but I never seen any elk. But I definitely seen those elk around the Warrenton area. And yeah, walking through the forest, the woods. They're a little paranoid too. They see you from a distance, they'll run. As big as they are. But the ones actually in Warrenton, they were like standing their ground. They were ready to fight me. They get a little too used to the humans, I think. But yeah, that's pretty remarkable to see so many elk. And they talk about elk all in the Rocky Mountains or something, but I never seen any. I've only seen the elk on the West Coast. They seem to thrive. Elk do really good in the heavy rainfalls. Security busting me. Yep, I'm doing pretty good these days. Oh, you see elk in Idaho, south of Hamilton, Montana? Yeah, I've seen moose in the Rocky Mountains. They're kind of rare though, the moose. I've seen moose in the Minnesota. Moose crossed the road before me in the north part of Minnesota. So that's a Canadian type of thing. But the elk, I don't know. It's like they're not as common as people want to have me believe. Salmon berries are a spring thing. You don't see salmon berries until the spring. Wow, that part of Colorado sounds familiar. I've probably been in those parts. I don't recall seeing any elk. I seen elk in Forks, Washington, but they were farmed. They were in a cage. They're like, 50 elk just in a fenced-in area, freaking out. Me bicycling by them. They were running the other way, but they were caged. They couldn't get outside. They couldn't escape the fence. So they. I think their environment's more natural in Washington. I don't know. I don't know about the Rocky Mountains. The bear probably destroy them. I see bear all over the place in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. So the bear dominates, and I'm sure the bear scare away the elk. But honestly, I think I might have heard an elk one night. I only heard it making its call. It could have been an elk. It didn't sound like it was a carnivore giving a call from a long distance away. The pink berries in Northern California, that sounds like the salmon berry if it's in the springtime. Estes Park in Colorado. Yeah, I don't recall ever seeing. I've probably heard an elk in Colorado in Steamboat Springs, but never seen them. Never seen the poop. At least I don't recall seeing the poop. I can't say. Can't say I recall that. Yeah, I got accused of stealing a kayak in another city. What was the name of that one? That was where they hunted all the bears to extinction, and then they made a big celebration of it. I'm not too far from there. I'll look at the map here. I'm not too far from that one. That was south of Port Townsend, I'm sure. South of Port Angeles. Was it Port Haddock? Was it Port Hadlock, Irondale? I think that was Port Hadlock. I'd have to look closer at the whole layout of the city to remember. Port. Yeah, because I think I didn't wrap around Mount Olympia completely. I wrapped around it going the north of it and west of it, but I never really went south or Shelton. It was in Shelton where I got accused of stealing the kayak. And then you asked if that was in Forks, which is yeah, that's west of the Olympic Mountains. Lots of homeless people in Shelton. Kind of run down along the coast. Yeah, there's Washington is the berry state. A lot of great berries. I'd have entire breakfasts I'd make an entire breakfast out of blackberries, out of salal berries. You could have almost an entire breakfast. You just have to pick around. You have to watch for those slugs around the salal. Where there's salal berries, there's slugs, right? There, at least that's the slugs thrive in that type of area. And then prisoners in Shelton. Okay. One south. Yeah, I thought I was Salmon Spring time. A public tried to poach your freedoms. What? Poach my freedoms. All right. Yeah, it's I'm being left alone around here. It seems more private security take control of things. So it's pretty comfortable around here, but I mean, it's got to deal with the cold. I have gotten kicked off some private property already, so it's not easy going. Let's see. Yeah, salmon berries. So what else did I eat? I had a really good berry. Not in Walla Walla, Washington. It was off of a tree. It was I don't know, like a special tree berry in the springtime that you see a lot of in the east of the Rocky, east of the Cascade Range. Not just Walla Walla, but also the surrounding cities in that region. I can't remember the name of that berry. Let me think. What's that berry called? I really liked it. It made me feel like I had to puke. I ate so much that I had to puke. And there's more than just the red version. There's also the white version too. That some nature stores will sell. Well, there's a lot of great berries in Washington. Washington just gets the rainfall for it, the right weather. So it does really good. There's just I've driven past them. I've driven through them. I've seen the berry farms stretch for miles. You know, you see cornfields and North Dakota, or the wheat fields of North Dakota. It's almost like the wheat fields of North Dakota are like the berry fields in Washington. It's really something else. Okay, people need love. Here in Illinois, we have a lot of yeah, that's not dingleberries. Mushrooms, there's mushrooms with the moisture going on, the types of vegetation, and you could live off the land and pretty good in Washington, I think, with the elk and the berries and all of that. There's a lot of great stuff. Yeah, and I'm not really trying to live off the land right now. I'm not picking anything from the woods. I haven't really gotten in touch with the woods so much. There's likely nothing this time of year. No grasses to pick, no weeds to pick. I don't, yeah, so yeah, I've been in jail the whole time. I mean, I've been in jail for 8 months, so I really haven't been out foraging for any wild foods. I picked some grasses on the grounds at jail. I've eaten some dandelion leaves on the grounds, some grass I've chewed on. Yeah, one time it got me upset stomach, so that wasn't good. I've seen that one weed that was growing along the fence line in the high water, where the water pools. It can handle a lot. I forget the name of it. I forget the name of it. I chewed on a particular weed on the grounds that I knew was healthy. I knew it was safe. So there's about 3 types of weeds that I was chewing on. Not much though. I wasn't doing it a whole lot. I still got my tooth problems. whatever I could chew on wasn't enough nutrition to help me. Yeah, North Dakota's got a lot of wheat fields, especially in the east half. More oil fields in the west half. My contact email, I got it on display in some places. Decriminalized, yeah. In Louisiana, everything is criminalized. Yeah, they criminalize pretty much everything. They give the city judges limited power, but excessive power at the same time in various ways. Yeah, I got an email. Should be posted somewhere on one of my channels. So I don't know. Maybe it's been over 2 hours. Maybe I'll just stop here now. I don't really need to be talking so much now. This was helpful and therapeutic. I got some new ideas to think about. So yeah, thanks for spending time on here. And yeah, I'm gonna stop this.